Hi, I'm Kim with the Potomac Bead Company, and today I'm going to be teaching you how to do the diamonds and X's bracelet stitch. For this class, we're going to be using size 8 seed beads, 2 colors of those, as well as a ball and socket clasp. I'm going to be using just a regular gold-plated clasp. So the first thing we're going to do is we're just going to add our clasp. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take one part of our clasp and I'm going to put my 2 needles through it. I have a piece of wildfire thread and I have 2 needles on the thread. What we're going to do is we're going to take one part of our clasp, we're going to take both needles and go through the clasp. This is going to create a little bow or ribbon at the end. All we're going to do is we're going to take our 2 needles and we're going to go through the little ribbon that we made with our needles. This is just going to keep our thread on the clasp. We're going to tighten that up. Okay? Now what we're going to do is we're going to add our core color bead. We are going to add 1 bead onto both needles. Okay. Okay. Now we're going to take that bead down so it sits right on top of our clasp. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take our 1 needle, we're going to add 1 core. Okay, then we're going to add another, and then on our other needle in our left hand we are going to add 1 size 6 or size 8 and another size 8. Now I'm going to take my right hand, I'm going to add 1 more size 8 seed bead, and then I'm going to take my left hand, I'm going to take my needle and I'm going to go back through that bead. So your right hand needle should be going from right to left, and your left hand needle is going from left to right, and I'm going to pull those 2 tight. Okay. So in the end it should look like so. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my 1 core color on my right hand needle, 1 core color on my left hand needle, okay, and then I'm going to take my offset color, I'm going to add 1 on one needle, 1 on the other, okay, then 1 core on my right hand, 1 core on my left, and then 1 core on my right. Then I'm going to take my core that I just strung, I'm going to take my left hand needle, I'm going to go from left to right, so one should go left from right, and then your right hand needle should go from right to left. Pull that tight. Okay. Then I'm just going to do the same thing again. I'm going to take 1 core on my right, 1 core on my left, 1 outside bead on my right, 1 outside bead on my left, 1 core on my right, 1 core on my left. I'm going to add 1 more core on my right, taking that bead with my right hand or my left hand needle, going from left to right, pulling it tight. Okay. And you should be getting that effect. You'll see that your outside color is going to be in between your 2 core colors. Your 1 core color. Then I'm going to take it, I'll just do it one more time. We're going to add 1 core on our right hand, 1 core on our left, 1 outside on our right, 1 outside on our left, 1 core on our right, 1 core on our left. I'm going to add 1 more core on my right. Then I'm going to take that, I'm going to take my left hand needle and I'm going to go from left to right. So in essence we are crisscrossing our threads. And there you go. Okay, I've done a couple more of these X's. I call them X's. If you can see this bracelet, each one of these is a separate X or diamond, however you want to look at it. When I did this bracelet, I did 21 X's and it made it about 6 inches. So I'm doing the middle part right now. These outside beads, I'm going to come back at the end and I'm going to finish it off at the end. So what we're going to do now is you're just going to keep doing these X's. They don't look like X's right now, but eventually they will. So you're just going to keep doing these. Do about, depending on how big your wrist is, like I said, the 21 X's makes it about 6 inches, and then your clasp makes it an extra ½ an inch. So take that into account when you do that. Also, when you're doing these at the end, you're going to tighten it up a bit, so that's going to make it shorter. Okay? So we will finish your X's and then we'll come back. Okay, now that I've done a good portion of my bracelet, we are going to do our clasp. And it's really simple, just like we did before. We're going to take 2 beads on each needle and then slide those down. Okay, and then we're going to take one bead, core bead, and slide it down both needles. You're going to take your clasp, slide that on, okay, and then go back through your beads. Go back through that one that you went through with both needles. Go back through, and we're going to pull that tight. Okay. Now that I've added my clasp, what we're going to do is we're going to go through the 2 beads on either side. So I should still have 1 needle on either side of my bracelet. I'm going to take my right hand needle, I'm going to go through the 2 beads on the right hand side. Pull that tight, and then I'm going to do the 2 beads with my left hand needle right there. Pull that nice and tight. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my 2 outer beads. See, what we did was we did the X's in the middle, and now we're going to go and we're going to do the outside embellishment. So whatever color bead you want to use. I'm going to use my core color just because I want this to be my little accent. So I'm going to take 2 of my core colors on my right hand needle, and I'm going to go through my bronzy color in my bracelet. I'm going to go through that bead. Then I'm going to take my left hand needle, add my 2 colors, and I'm going to put my needle through my bronzy color on the left side. Pull that tight. Okay. That sets us up for the outside of the bracelet. Okay. Now I'm going to do, again, I'm going to add my core color, 2 beads, and I'm going to go through that bronze colored bead. Okay. Through that bead, pull that tight, one side, and I'm going to do my left hand needle again through that bronze bead right there. Okay. Pull that tight. Do it one more time. I'm going to take my core color, 2 beads on my right hand needle, go through that bronze bead on the end, and pull tight. And do it with my right hand. Add 2 with my core, and then go back through my bronze. Now, when you do this, you want to do right hand and the left hand side, one at a time. If you do one side and then you do the other, it becomes tight on one side or more tight on one side than the other, and that makes it curve. So you want to have the same tautness on either side to make that bracelet fit. The other thing is, if you pull them too tight, it makes the bracelet smaller. So that's taking into account our X's on the end. Okay? So just continue doing your embellishment on the outside until you have finished and off. Okay? And then pull in your ends and you are finished.